Hello, James here. How you guys doing out there? Well, I hope everything is all as well. I'm not going to. I'm gonna probably do a 5 minute intro on just talking what I'm about to show you. I was thinking about these last couple of days, what why I made the couple of my videos about just pearly things. My my mission was to kind of open up people don't understand what's really going on. What's why on this why most people attacking this woman, and why are people attacking each other among the black content creators. Before I do so, I'm gonna play a couple of clips. Then I'm gonna bring you into the mindset of how some people, and I made a video about suburb and entitlement people, and and at the end of this video, I'm gonna try not to do too much talking, but I'll make my commentary afterwards. And as I'm narrating it, I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. And before I start out with, this doesn't apply to all people. It doesn't apply to all black people. It doesn't apply to white people or any other people. It's the state of mind and the mindset of some people, whether it's coming from us as black people or whether it's coming from them as white people and other people who are watching this video. And the environments that we come from is a lot bit different, and that there's certain things on the human aspect we can connect, but certain things in our cultures we simply cannot connect because of the trauma and tragedy of what happened in our culture. Even though it's not saying that's little to less than other people's culture, but black people understand black people in different dimensions. So I'm gonna let these fellas. I'm gonna be shouting out the channels too. I'm just gonna use a little bit of their video to make the talking points, and you'll hear what I'm saying. So we're gonna go to. Okay. We're gonna go first. We're gonna come back to Black People European holidays, but first we're gonna start out with these young men down here, and they made excellent points in this video. And this is even to my people that's overseas, my immigrants, who I highly respect. Some I do respect, but they do make some good pivot points here in the video about certain people that come from other places and the mindset that they come over. And so, and when it comes to dealing with different groups of people and how, they don't understand the whole cause of it. They don't understand what do we talk about as as black Americans. Why do we think the way we do? So I'm going to the channel. Fair use. Copyright 1976 for purposes only for teaching educational. Copyright 1976.
So, check this out. Have you heard of that whole thing about that chick, Just Pearly Things?
Just what?
Just Pearly Things. Yeah, she's the she's a, you know who Andrew Tate is, right?
I know who Andrew Tate is.
Okay, so she's a content creator like Andrew Tate, and she kind of swagger jacked a lot of Kevin Samuels' style and talking points. But she recently had Nick Fuentes on a podcast that she hosted, and I'm gonna let you listen to what she said and let me know what you think about this. All right.
In Poland, they switched it out with Nigerians. It would be a completely different country.
Exactly, yeah. How do you feel? Well, I don't want to get you in trouble, but I mean, do you think that makes me a white supremacist to say that?
No, that kind of makes sense, like what you're saying. Personally, I'm trying to get my Africans and Americans, so we're not gonna support that. like, please make it easy for me to immigrate next year.
Well, I will say, hey, They are more industrious
Get
than
blessing
American
in.
blacks.
Get blessing in.
He can stay.
Well, like in Poland, they switched.
So he said that they're more industrious Africans than American blacks.
Yeah, I heard that.
Now, what do you think about that? Now, see, the thing is that her podcast is primarily staffed by, and most of her guests and co-hosts are black people. And I'm gonna and there's some black content creators in the United States that have worked with her, and I'm gonna show you a video of one of the guys who made a response video late in the game, if you ask me, because she's made all kinds of comments like this before and nobody really said anything. But I'm gonna let you see what kind of stuff she allows on her podcast, and let me know what you think about it. All right. So
this is already what I've been telling everybody already for fucking years. So keep on going.
I know. That's why this gonna get you in your prime right here. Hold on real quick.
You already know.
Let's see. All right, here we go. Yeah. All right. So tell me when you want me to stop it. All right.
I got you.
No, I don't.
Wow.
I really don't. I don't wish the left for racist.
Oh, I'm not racist.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Nick.
Yeah, I am a little bit
Yeah,
racist.
and the Italians, we do not claim you.
Oh, hey, the Italians don't claim you. You're the one dating the black guy.
I'm not going to beat around the bush for this conversation. I'm going to get straight to the point. Pearl, you f***ed up.
Now, here's the context, right? This guy here, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, he's not a partner or anything like that, but he's done content with her. Like, there's a lot of black people that have done content with her. He's not the only one, but he's out of the people that have done content with her, if I'm not mistaken, out of the people that have directly worked with her, he's the first person to have said something, right? But the problem is that this is after months of her saying things and other people on the outside criticizing it, and everybody else, like a lot of other black people, getting upset at the people who are criticizing the things that she's saying that we're being haters, and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. And I don't think that anybody is being a hater at all. I think what it is that people are attempting to set up a level of respect that we're attempting to demand from everybody and uphold that level of respect, and there's still just a group of people that feels like, well, if allowing disrespect allows us to be closer to this element of society, then you guys need to shut up and stop making problems and let us just go ahead and get our butter biscuits by allowing this kind of respect. And I think what you're starting to see is because the Black Authority did a live stream about this topic on The Business channel, and now there's like this giant split of people who, have critiques about what she said, and other people who have an issue with the people who have the critiques in there saying, well, you guys just need to shut up. You're being too pro-black, you're being this, you're being that. And it's just weird. Nobody's saying that. Like, nobody ever says that somebody is being too white supremacist or nobody's being too white nationalist except for us. But then when somebody says we should have a level of respect, it's like you're being too sensitive, you're being too pro-black is whack, pro-wax, blah, 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 blah. And some of these people aren't even pro-black. It's just people that have a level of self-respect. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. But what have I been saying? I've been telling everybody, okay? Immigrant, first, second gen, fucking black folks, they are the good Negroes. American black folks, they the bad Negroes, right? And this is the narrative that's been keeping on getting pushed. Even Africans push this narrative, right? And the fact of the matter is, this is just another white woman who is pushing this same narrative, saying with her guests, whoever that dude is. The fact of the matter is, these motherfuckers, this is a white woman, a fat white woman, who found herself some immigrant African that has kissed her ass because, he feels like he got his little white queen, and, he's happy and she's happy, and, this is what it is. I got one of the good ones. You see what I'm saying? Back in the day, it was, an educated FBA brother or sister, you know what I mean, that got a white woman or a white man, they were like, yeah, but she's not the same as them, right? You know what I mean? Like, you know, they used to always do that. That, you know, you're articulate. You're not the same as them, right? It was always good nigga, bad nigga, right? But this is just good nigga, bad nigga. But now it's very clear on what it is. And what it is an attempt to promote the good nigga, okay, which is the immigrant Africans, because they don't fight, they don't do this, they accept all this shit because they come here with a colonized mindset.
Right.
And then, motherfucking, with that being said, you know, the American black folks, they're the bad nigga. It doesn't matter if they're educated. It doesn't matter if they're fucking got a good job. It doesn't matter if fucking, you know, they got degrees up to wazoo. It doesn't matter. You're still the bad nigga. You see what I'm saying? And so this is what this is. It is just simply good nigga, bad nigga. And I told everybody this shit before. I said, you're being replaced by a whole bunch of immigrants. You're being replaced by immigrant Africans that you accepted into your group. And what they did was they took your style, your swag, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you dress, the way you fucking rap, the way you sing. They took all of those things. And once they figured all of those things out, they left. They continue to talk shit about you. And now they're using those things in order to take advantage of everything. So now what you end up having is, you know, just like when we were talking about like HR 40 and we're talking about reparations and we're talking about all that shit. Right. Why is it that they're always bringing immigrant Africans to speak for us, or immigrant Africans to try to barter some sort of deal? And the fact of the matter is they're always saying, no, all Africans should get it, or they're saying, no, we don't want it, right? But the fact of the matter is they're trying to speak for us. Why do they do it? Because white folks understand fucking who's going to give them the right answer. Now, with that being said, what if I also told you? I said, they know the difference between fucking, you know, an American nigga and an immigrant nigga, right? The fact of the matter is when you go in there with your name being Daryl Jackson, they know you from America. You foundational, right?
Right.
But when they come in there and they have Michael Olawakundu, you know, whatever the fuck, right?
These reparations have benefit all of us.
You know, it's like when you go and they even sound American, you know what I mean? The fact of the matter is they still see that last name. And that last name is the difference maker. You understand? See, this is, you know, a lot of white folks, I'll be talking to white folks about this sometimes, and they be like, no, how can you tell the difference? You can tell the difference.
Oh, they need to stop. They can, the same way they tell the difference between a Russian or a Slav.
Right, exactly. It's like,
that's not bullshit.
They know the last name or the first and last name or fucking all that.
If you have a name of Wilanowski, Wolfowski, or Chavovalovich, you know that's a damn Slavic. But like, get the fuck out of here with that dumb shit. These motherfuckers are like, when it comes to white people doing that stupid ass shit, next time somebody wins the state lottery, I'm gonna say, well, I'm part of the state, I want my cut too. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I swear, like, that shit is just so disingenuous, and the fact that people literally allow them to do that with impunity is just mind-boggling to me.
Well, again, they're being allowed to do that with impunity by their white masses.
Right.
Again, they come here with a colonized mindset. The fact of the matter is they have dealt with racism. They still deal with racism in their fucking country. Now, again, you got to fucking always fucking look at where they come from, right? You got to do that. They come from a country that's full of nothing but black folks, but it's still ran by a whole bunch of white folk, right? So clearly these motherfuckers is colonized in the mind, right? And so Obuku Oompa Loompa is motherfucking, you know, always gonna side with his white massa rather than fucking siding with black folks, because they will always, as long as he repeats the same rhetoric as them, he will always get ahead faster than you and me. Again, that's just what it is. When they see Daryl Jackson on the fucking application with the exact same credentials, if not better credentials, than Olawokandi Oompa Loompa, then they're still going to pick Oompa Loompa. You know why? Because he's the good one. And whether anybody wants to fucking admit that or not, that's what it is.
No, that is what it is. I've dealt with that in my life. You know, and my name sounds good on the application, but then when they see me, they're like, oh, hell no.
Right, and when you talk to them, You know, they're always with this same bullshit. So the thing is you got to understand that these are motherfucking people who are fighting
Excuse
against
language.
your interests, my interests, foundational Black Americans' interests, and they are not. They don't care about what the fuck they're doing. They're blurring the lines and helping white folks to push a narrative that, you know, Black folks is racist and everybody can be racist. They're helping pushing the line of saying, you know, Black folks don't deserve this shit. You know what I mean? And they try to come over here and they say, we was over there and we didn't get no reparations. No, motherfucker, okay, because you bowed down to your masters. Because why? Because that was what you wanted to do. Literally, if African people stood the fuck up and had half of the heart that they try to act like they have when they always want to talk about, no, we're descended from the kings. Yeah, you're descended from the kings, but you're a whole bunch of fucking sorry ass fucking, you're non-warriors.
Yeah, they descended from the king so far down that the entire empire imploded. What do they got to say about that?
They're not warriors. They try to act like, oh, I come from, you know, Timbuktu, or I come from the Congo, or I'm from this group. No, you're not warriors. You're not the warrior class. You are the buffer class. So you go out of your fucking way to blur the lines in order for you to look better, because at the end of the day, you know what I mean, these people are nothing more than cowards. They come over here because they're afraid to stay over their own country. They allow people to walk and run all over them, and they allow people to take over their whole fucking country, when this is the biggest continent in the world with the largest amount of fucking people besides Asia. You know what I mean? And these motherfuckers do not take no responsibility for themselves. So why would you expect them to fucking even stand up for someone like you or me or anybody else?
Exactly.
You know, it is very simple. These motherfuckers know exactly where they stand. They know that fucking how white people look at them. They understand that fucking white people look at them as the good niggas. You know what I mean? And the fact of the matter is that they are taking full advantage of it, and they will do anything they can to take advantage of it. And this is why fucking old Fatso over there, fucking, or whatever the fuck her name is, fucking has an African fucking man, and fucking he wants to get with her and he wants to stay with her, and that's his white queen. That shit is bullshit. They're fucking fake, and you know, at the end of the day, these motherfuckers is cowards, and this is why I am so adamant about making sure that Black folks, you know, foundational Black folks, stop accepting these people into your circle. Even if they sound like they're down, stop doing it. You're being fooled, you're being tricked, you're being bamboozled, you're being led astray. You know what I mean? Run them up. You are the fucking, you're the sucker in this whole thing. You're the sucker, and you allow them in your circle. You say, oh, but they're our brothers. See, bro, no. Do you think they fucking will let you date their sister or their brother if they fucking have a chance? No, they don't. So, you know,
I forget who it was. I think it was a Somalian that wrote an entire book on how their family told them to stay away from Black people. Now, it's just crazy. I mean, these people are so damn colonized. They come over here and they think that it's the same as over there, where they had this tribal weirdness, and you know, you gotta fight with the family next door and shit. Like, it's not like that here. Like, they need to, I don't know, they need, honestly, like, I ain't trying to be funny, they need diversity training, because they're xenophobic.
they are very xenophobic, but at the same time, this is, you know, you have to understand that they feel, because they know where they come from, they feel that they're better because they know their ancestors personally. They feel there's a lot of different things and reasons why they feel. But you always have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you always remember that all of these African immigrants are hand-picked. African immigrants. They're hand-picked. Like, they're usually the, you know, better off upper crust. Now, their parents might not fucking come here and get exactly what they want, because nobody accepts their fucking degrees from Africa. You know what I mean?
But they gotta come here and work 24 hours a day as an Uber driver while going to school.
Right, but if they come over here and get a fucking, you know, degree at a, you know, a white, predominantly white institution, you know what I mean, then they are going to be more accepted. You see what I'm saying? So what it is these people are handpicked. You don't see them picking. They don't see. Hold on, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. So I'm gonna keep playing this until he gets back. Real quick, guys, if you guys haven't smashed that like button, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't,
That's their opinion. I mean, whether it's true or not, I'm kind of mixed on it. But I hope that this, anybody who watched this that it's not my opinion. This is, but they lay in the foundation. But where did this mindset come from? Well, let's go to this one. Sorry, excuse the language. Like I said, every person is different. It don't mean all immigrants the same way. Every person is different. Every immigrant is different individually.
You are now listening to Serious Minds RN TV with your host, Professor Griff. The call-in number is 516-654-7688. That's 516-654-7688.
Uh-oh.
And European holidays.
Shout out to Professor Griff.
Black people in European holidays. Okay? And then I want you to scroll down and I want you to find one of our now ancestors, Ishaka Musa Barashango. Ishaka. Ishaka Musa, M-U-S-A. Barashango, B-A-R-A-S-H-A-N-G-O. Alright? When you find that, you will see someone posted our good brother lecture up 9 years ago. Someone put it up again 2 years ago. There's a few times people put it up. Ishaka Musa Barashango, now ancestor, he dealt with Europeans, black people in European holidays. He kind of laid it out, holiday by holiday. If you want an in-depth understanding or a deeper understanding, so you can understand, and overstand what this holiday is actually about, you can dive into his work. He will give you a deeper understanding. Ishaka Musa Barashango, black people in European holidays. Now, we are not saying that this time of year is not a time of year that was not ours. It was ours. But we didn't celebrate it with turkey legs and cranberry dressing and the genocide of the Native American, the stealing of land, the spreading of syphilis and gonorrhea and diseases, wiping out the people, the indigenous people that were here on this land. Alright? I think this would be appropriate if we mention the fact that this should be a day of mourning. This should have been a day yesterday where we stopped, paused, pressed the pause button, went back and studied our history. When I say our history is intertwined with the Native American history because the vast majority of Native Americans look just like you. Alright? Ask yourself the question, who occupied this land prior to Chris and the boys coming over? Prior to Leif Erikson? Prior to America Vespucci? Prior to any of these explorers coming over? What were we doing? Question is, what were we doing in 1492? What was black people doing in 1492? What was black people doing in 1492? Talk to me, come on. The 13th God placed a reflection of you. Don't leave me out here by myself like that. Alright, we air light. Because
Because once you take on the title Prince, King, calling yourself G-O-D, of course with a small g, there's a duty and responsibility that comes with that. There's a duty and responsibility that comes with saying I am God, having a human experience called Griff. Code 01888. He says, when I celebrate Thanksgiving, I celebrate it for our fallen Native American. Then you shouldn't call it Thanksgiving then. All right? Words have power, good brother. Words have power. So I'm still asking the question, what were we doing? What was black people doing in 1492? What were Africans doing in 1492?
Until he had exhausted the provision.
That is a good question to ask, right? So we left the last post in Grenada in 1492. That's only one place, Blaine. That's one place. Blaine T. Goodwin. That's one place. It's not the only place that we were at on the planet. Let's dig deeper. This is Serious Minds attracting serious minds seriously. So let's do that right now. Listen, don't get bothered by the intonation of my voice, the raspiness of my voice. All right? Men sharpen men, steel sharpen steel. Talk to me. Let's go deeper than that. That's one place, Blake. We got you though, bro. We're going to write that one down. Black people just left the last post in Grenada in 1492. Grenada where, good brother? Let's be thorough. All right? While we're waiting on these answers, what were we doing in 1492? Let me say that please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share, fam, and don't forget to hit the bell so you can receive the notifications on the next time we're on right here on Serious Minds RN TV. If you would like to advertise your event or your business right here on Serious Minds RN TV, hit me up, 678-557-2919. All right? If you would like to participate in the Alternative Black Studies course series, you can submit your payments on PayPal, www.paypal.me/Professor Griff Court, or just go to www.seriousmindsinstitute.com. seriousmindsinstitute.com. seriousmindsinstitute.com. If you would like to support independent black media, right here on Serious Minds RN TV, right here on YouTube, hit the super chat. Go down at the bottom, just click it, say, yo, I got $4 and a nickel, here you go. Alright? Or if you're over here on IG, hit the Cash App, $Professor Griff, whatever it is. I help to move this forward. Now, if y'all were over here on YouTube, y'all would see where some of the money's going. The commercials, which we got to shout out Shane Shakur for putting the commercials together. Alright? Everyone that gives a financial donation, we put it to use. Quan, Johnny Taylor, Great Filibuster, Double B, all the other people that have given. Sister from the Black Wellness.
Of 32 parts, 18 were gold, 6 were silver, and 8 copper. Columbus and the people of the Iberian Peninsula of Portugal and Spain were very familiar with African people. In fact, the only reason that Columbus was able to sail to the Americas in 1492 was because the Spaniards had just taken back Spain from the Moors after 700 plus years of North African subjugation. Columbus was no slouch at all. He knew very well that the Moors had navigation skills as they sailed the sea to come to Spain to begin with. So Columbus took with him a Moor named Pedro Alonso Nino, who was the navigator or pilot of Columbus's first and third journey. Now, with all that context out of the way, what was going on in the rest of Africa around 1492? during the late 15th century. Well, in West Africa, the classical empire of Songhai was just in its first phases. The great founder of the Songhai Empire, Sunny Ali, just died in 1492, but during his tenure, he was dismantling the Mali Empire, becoming the greatest conqueror king West Africa had ever seen. Sunny was the most powerful warrior king and had more soldiers than any of his predecessors. In his expeditions, he subdued many lands and became feared amongst his enemies. The Tariq el-Fatash, a book written by an African scholar at Timbuktu, had this to say about Sunny Ali. Chi Ali was always victorious and destroyed all the countries that he chose. None of his armies in his presence were defeated. Always the conqueror, never defeated. Right under the vast Songhai Empire lie the Empire of Benin. Benin during this time in 1492 was ruled by the great Oba Azolua. During his long period as sovereign, Azolua transformed Benin from a moderately large kingdom into an empire. Hailed as Azolua the Conqueror, oral histories report that he fought more than 200 battles. Even though his reign was marked with some instability, he still managed to expand Benin into an empire, and by 1492, his reign was well seasoned and Benin growing. Oba Azolua was the son of the legendary king Oba Awari the Great of Benin, and because of his accomplishments, Oba Azolua became a very important Oba in both the history of the Benin Empire and in the folklore and celebrations in the region. In Central Africa, for the Kanem Empire, 1492 was a crucial moment. Years earlier, the Kanembu were defeated by the Ulala, and their capital of Njimi was taken over.
Interesting.
Alright. Shout out to that brother for giving us those valuable lessons. Home team. Alright, history. Now listen. He was about to go on to the third and fourth empire. Empires rising and falling in Africa. Way before 1492. Alright? Now this is the kind of stuff that I put in my alternative black studies course, so we can educate ourselves. So by the time we have this conversation, the conversation it's almost old by now. So the whole idea now of this day, people calling this day Thanksgiving and saying Christopher Columbus discovered America. Family, do me a favor, please, and give me a real answer. Did Christopher Columbus ever step foot in America?
Johnny not.
I'm gonna pause for a second. I'm just waiting for y'all to give me an answer. Did Christopher Columbus ever step foot in America? Tanya So Beautiful said nope, not north. Life Under the Scope says nope. RPC says nope. Lester Dukes, nope. Blaine, he was in the we didn't ask you that, bro. Answer the question, man. You thinking too much, man. Come on, Blaine. Rock with me, man. Simple answer, yes or no. Did Christopher Columbus step his foot in the United States, North America? Answer the question.
Nope. I can recall.
No. Plain and simple.
No.
No, he did not. Thank you. That's it. That's all we need to say. We'll do all the explanation, all the other deeper science later on. He did not. If that's the case, then why did they say Christopher Columbus discovered America if he's never been in America? Now, Matthew Barrows, is that your name? You said calling Thanksgiving, Turkey Day, or Indigenous Day, or any other name is like putting lipstick on a pig, and only a pimp can do that and make it work. What does that mean?
Americans.
That's I shouldn't say that because he never came to America. Wow. Come on now, talk to me, y'all.
The first Million Man March, when General Monk made a million albinoids march across the burning hot sands of the desert. After reaching the second oasis, the whole group of albinoids was acting savage like animals. General Monk had covered 2,200 miles and was in the land of what they now call Turkey. Once General Monk let the albinoids loose, the albinoids ran wild up into the caves and hillsides. They tore off their apron, walked on all fours, and lived a beastly way of life. General Monk and his army stayed there in Asia Minor, Turkey, and the Straits of the Dardanelles, to guard the border to make sure that the evil albinoids did not try to enter back into the land of peace.
Alright, that's part one of Jump.
Really interesting short here. But before I, continue with that, but this is something more modern recently that most black people and most people in general don't know. Let's take the country.
The Ethiopians unto me, and it reads skin cancers, death rate per 100,000, age standardized. And as you can see, the red is the highest risk of skin cancer. As you see, Canada, Alaska, America, North America that is. You see Russia, certain parts of Europe, South America, and Australia. These are the highest risk of skin cancer in the earth. The judgment from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the highest risk. I'm not going to read the countries, but I'm going to just go to number 13, which we are focusing on, and it reads Israel. So the people that's in Israel are catching skin cancer because they are not the ancient Israelites of the Old Testaments. They are not the same people that left Egypt with Moses and went into the land of Israel or the land of Canaan. Those are not the real people. Those people actually migrated from Europe around the Caspian Sea, which would make them of the empire or the Khazar Empire. They converted to Judaism in 740 AD, and they are not the bloodline descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And as you see, when you zoom in on it, you see Israel, which is by Egypt. You see the red, because the Most High is actually plaguing them with the skin cancer that's mentioned in Revelation. Which I can get that before this video is up. So this is what when you see the red at, that's predominantly where Edom lie. You know what I'm saying? Those where the Edomites lie at today. Who are the Edomites? The Caucasian race today are the Edomites. So this is what this disease is at, because the sun is actually rejecting them because they have no melanin. See, the real Israelites in 70 AD, we fled out of Israel, and we went all the way to West Africa, running from the Romans in 70 AD because it was a siege. This is a proven fact. You can go research this and everything. Who are the real Israelites? It will consist of you Black Americans, Latinos, and Native American Indian people today, of Negro and Indian stock, not Spaniards or any other race. You have to descend from those people on your father's side, because they come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So with that, I want to get some scriptures. I want to get the book of Acts the Apostle 21 and 37, and it reads, "And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, May I speak unto thee? Who said, Canst thou speak Greek? Art not thou that Egyptian which before these days madest an uproar and leddest out into the wilderness 4,000 men that were murderers?" So Paul was mistaken for being an Egyptian right here. The Egyptians are black, dark-skinned people, and that would make Paul a dark-skinned person, was similar to the dark skin of the Egyptians, which he was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. So the next scripture I want to get is Amos 9 and 7, and it reads, "Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, saith the Lord Yahweh? Have not I brought up Israel out of the land of Egypt, and the Philistines from Qatar, and the Assyrians from Kir?" So here's another instance where the Most High is actually comparing the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, unto his people Israel, because they had the same skin color. They was same in color, but in nationality it was not the same. Next scripture I want to get is Lamentation 4 and 8, and it reads, "Their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick." Now the word their visage is appearance. So these people appearance was black in color, or dark skin in color. So these people today, which are the so-called Black Americans, Latinos, and Native American Indians, will make up the true house of Israel. And the people that you see today are the synagogue of Satan, which I can get that scripture as well. Baba Kushai. This is Revelation 2 and 9, and it reads, "I know thy works, tribulation, and poverty." Now this is Yahweh Shah speaking. "But thou art rich." Why are we rich? Because we have the kingdom of heaven next. We have the kingdom on earth as it is in heaven next on earth. It's saying, "And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan." So only one people worship in synagogues, and that's the Jewish people today. And anybody that's claiming to be a Jew, rather you say you're an Iranian Jew, or a Middle Eastern Jew, or Orthodox Jew, or non-religious Jew, you guys are the synagogues of Satan, and the Most High is going to destroy you. You're going to be destroyed according to Revelation 13 and 9. Because a lot of you Jewish people funded the slave trade for our people to come over on the slave ships. So you guys got to pay for that. Y'all got to pay hardcore slavery. It's only right. You still kill us today under your racist court system and your racist police system, and you ain't nobody making you pay. So it's only right when Yahweh Shah come back, you're gonna make you devils pay. This is Revelation.
I'm gonna say this. Just, you can take it as a grain of salt, but I'm gonna take you to another video. But these are the countries that has a high rate of skin cancer: Israel, Polynesia, Lebanon, Bulgaria, Guyana, Barbados, Australia, Japan, Singapore, Malta, Mauritius, France, Cyprus, Poland, Moldova, Puerto Rico, Guadeloupe, France, I think it's Guadeloupe, Iceland, Portugal, Belize, Uruguay, Finland, Spain, Greece, Estonia, Lithuania, Croatia, Italy, Sweden, Czech Republic, Slovakia, Latvia, Slovenia, Siberia, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Germany, South Korea, United Kingdom, New Caledonia, France, Canada, Netherlands, Norway, Denmark, France, another place in France, Belgium, United States, Hungary, Ireland, New Zealand, Australia, have the highest rate of skin cancer. Well, I said, what's all this adding up to? Because let me tell you something. When you look at these pictures of Jesus,
power, majestic above all.
don't you think that people would have skin cancer if they look like these people?
Awesome craftsmanship. Day after day, they continue to speak.
Hold on. They have this. This is in accord to the book of Jeremiah. He looks like this.
Passover, or the Feast of Freedom, is the foundational feast of the Jewish people. In it, we remember God's loving kindness in saving his people from bondage in Egypt.
But according to the scriptures and the actual countries, how is that the people that play biblical characters, why do they all look a certain way? Jeremiah, Jeremiah,
I put my words.
why did Jeremiah look like that when you're telling this story? You have Paul,
Well, although she said he would fall from a horse.
so you think that they look like that when they was in the desert? But they're telling the story.
94 years old, he never knew how to ride. It was truly remarkable, extraordinary, really.
Romeo! Hortus! Hortus! Stop!
That's supposed to be Paul. That's supposed to be Paul. But you heard the gentleman earlier, it described Paul. Why did they describe? Why did Paul look like this? Why when they tell the story, they don't show you the actual people? But when they show the people, they have to make them look like this. Because they didn't look like this 2,000 years ago. They didn't look like this over 2,000 years ago. So why is it that when it comes to the main people like Paul, Jeremiah, Solomon, they make them all in the most of all who came to save the world. But when you look into the book of Revelation, it describes who Christ is. And there's even evidence of Christ. I'm sorry about that. And I'm just going through these fast. So you got Paul, Esther, Solomon. Look at these pictures. Yeshua, better known as Jesus. Why is it that what we've been saying, but Moses, Paul, even the movie made them all, it's the same repeat. Why are we making a big deal about this? Because they're showing you biblical characters from a European's point of view, not from the Bible's point of view. But this is the latest movie. Them other movies were made about 20, 30 years ago. So they pushed the narrative. So the reason why some black people left the church and other people, because they make the characters look like this.
Together, close as brothers. Keep each other safe. Always.
And they know that black people are spiritual people.
Always felt it. Your parents never told you the truth. What truth? The year of your birth, there was a prophecy that our leader would be born to liberate us.
Yes, who that's supposed to be?
Moses. After 400 years of slavery, things here have become
even to terror, even his wife would even
brother. You must set them free. Is that a threat?
She was of Eastern with him.
Yes!
But when you read about the terror, she was a black woman.
What is the most important thing in your life?
You are. And when will you leave me?
See,
Never. Let's just see who's more effective at killing. You or me.
when they go back to Egypt, this what they give you a story what they look like this. They didn't look like this.
Because it will not.
They make their version of it.
I came to tell you something.
So they make their version of it. But when you say that when the black Hebrews, people of Hebrew, then they said they make it about color. But Hollywood, along with the society, wants to keep the image up that look like them, like the people in Israel you see today. So when you look at these different images, you think that you are seeing their ancient ancestors that look like this. That's why. And that's why they say we've been colonized from their point of view, because that is true. And this is what some Hebrew brothers were bringing it out, like it doesn't match up. And even some people who are coming to the truth understood this because they've been colonized. Now, how does that play into today? Well, you were programmed to see everything from a colonizer point of view. And you can see what the colonizer mostly looked like. And so when it comes to the holidays of Christmas, Easter, you celebrating the colonizer holiday. And black folks was traditionally rooted in that they celebrate the colonizer's holiday. So so black people are trained to be colonized. They have a colonization to turn against each other for generation after generation after generation. Some are trained to be colonized. And some don't want to give up, and some want to be next to the people, because when you see the images on TV, you want to be like the people who they show you on TV. It puts into your psychic on who you are. It's not that none of the people in the Bible is wrong. It's the way they display the character. So they keep showing you these characters that look like European looking dudes. That impossible. They wouldn't have been able to withstand the temperatures at that time. But they colonized your mindset. So when they brought the colonization of your mindset, they have you celebrating Christmas. They have you celebrating Easter. They have you celebrating Valentine's Day. They have you want to be them. So it all comes back to this young woman.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here with Sanjay, and I actually purchased one of my pre-roll shop front for $17. And the store has had some pretty crazy results this far. And I want you to break down your experience with the store and working with them.
Oh, that's good, everybody. It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Recently, I had a chance to interview Brother Omowale Africa out of Philadelphia on the King Ganda YouTube channel. And we had a pretty interesting conversation about Negro consciousness and the lack of black consciousness for brothers and sisters, such that they find themselves in situations where they forget who they are as a people. And so when you have racial amnesia, as a brother puts it, you will start helping your people develop. And you will even go and deal with the enemy in the case. In the cases, the enemy is not necessarily a person who's another color, but a person who shows characteristics of what oppressors do. I'm not hating on anybody for being a different race, right? But if you share in characteristics with what we can remember to be racism or what we think it is, then that's a problem, right? Now, I remember just 5 months ago, Brother Omowale Africa and George Macon was holding Just Pearly Things accountable because, Just Pearly Things had black women on her show, or black people on her show, and that's the video which was called Just Pearly Things, I think it was Just Pearly Things, Black Manosphere Crown Woman Kings Just Pearly Things, and that's the video that I reacted to, right? That's the video you guys are saying that I'm over here, crowning her, the lady of the manosphere. That was me responding to that video. What I'd like to do is play just a little bit of his video, and then I'm going to come back.
There's a new woman in the red pill space. For years I've had my battles and my debates with the manosphere, the black manosphere, and those red pill spaces. Over the years, with the emergence of Kevin Samuels, bringing the conversation to a greater audience, you're starting to see women pop up, and women now start to speak out. People like Crimson Cure, Danica Marie, and many other women speak out on behalf of the red pill content and the manosphere. But now there's a new woman emerging, and the woman is not a black woman, but is a white woman. And this white woman, her name is Pearly. And now this woman is coming into the manosphere space, speaking on black relationships, and she's not black. But the manosphere has now allowed this woman to come and speak in these spaces. She has over 500,000 subscribers. She took her she took the things and she went over to London, and in London you can see that she's sitting in spaces with predominantly black people, and they're talking about submission and all the things that the manosphere has talked about over the years. She's holding the conversation, but she is a woman that is not African American or black, and she's able to come into black spaces and monetize our issues. But the problem that I have with this is you would never see a black person, male or female, go into white spaces and exploit their issues for profit or gain. That's not something that you're going to see.
No.
But in the black spaces, it happens all the time.
Now I want to play a video 5 months ago from Brother Omar Wale Africa. And again, it's very similar. He even interviewed Aunt Jenny on the stream. Okay? I'm going to play what he had to say, and then we're going to come back.
What you can't do is say just because Just Pearly Things is not saying it, she's only giving a platform to people who desire the attention to express their dysfunction, that you're now giving her plausible deniability. Because no, she's profiting because there is a demand for derogatory entertainment, especially as it relates to black women. And you can ignore race if you choose to, but the algorithm doesn't. And Pearl knows that very well, which is why her title will say black women are undesirable, right? Because that's going to drive the clicks, that's going to drive the views, and she stated out of her own mouth, she's around more city girls than anyone on this panel. Why? Because they're entertaining, and she produces an entertaining show that uses black dysfunction as its content strategy. She's no different than Vlad TV. She's no different than Fresh and Fit. Anyone who is doing this, but if we're talking about having a conversation about what's happening in our community pertaining to black mating and black dating, we have a right to say that this person is allowed a voice and this person is not. Full stop.
Do you get paid? Do you get paid to? Do you at least get paid to be on her shows?
For me?
Yes. Do you at least get?
I get paid to go on her show. I'm like everybody else. I saw something that I didn't like on her show. I asked to go on, and I went on. Nobody makes anybody come on there. So what is she supposed to do? So whenever a black person applies, whenever a black person says, I want to come onto your show, is she supposed to say no because I'm a white woman? You go and find a black show. I'm not going to have black people on my show. They call and they come up on her show. She doesn't say, oh, I only want black people. She said white people. She said Spanish people on her show. Black people are the ones that comes on her to her show. They apply to come on. So what is she supposed to do? Turn around and say, oh no, you can't come onto my show because you're black and I'm white.
Yeah, this is the same thing that Leora Cole, this is his perspective. I got mouths to feed. And these nappy-headed hyenas are entertaining as fuck. And there's a whole lot of demand out there for black female dysfunction. So, if they want the platform, cool.
Now, listen at what Sarah Garvey said 5 months later. Okay? Let me play what Brother Sarah Garvey said, and then I'm going to come back.
Pearl has taken people on from Africa, which on the surface looks like a good thing. And I guess it is. Africans are being fed, they're taking money from her, they are feeding their family. Amazing. However, with a colonial...
Yeah, I said, but I'm going to give you an idea where people like Pearl come from. Shout out to Shady Jackson for using this video. But they come from a mindset like this. But this is going to shock you when I tell you part of the video.
Kind of house I'm building in my development. My name's Roy Webb. I'm the builder of this housing development. Kind of proud of it, too. It's going to be a real...
Right, and... But there's one thing I'm not going to do without. wall-to-wall carpeting.
This is no mere collection of homes, but a carefully...
I'm sorry.
36 men who built this house. Another day, another 40 houses.
Sorry. So people like Pearl, think about it. Coming to a black manosphere to come out of an environment, generations to come out of an environment like this in America.
Begin to discover Red Book about the time they apply for their marriage license. Start life in their own homes, have their first baby, take out their first loan. And they stay with Red Book through their busiest years. As Red Book sees them, they're an energetic lot, a carefree lot, even though so suddenly plunged into family life. As the babies start coming, they usually decide to concentrate on their houses, with the woman staying home to learn new ways to run a household. Where it soon dawns on her that she could use a little expert help. While the kids are young, many of the mothers try to stay at home, which isn't always so easy either. There are times when it's good to have other young adults to talk to.
I showed you that little clip because how can a young woman like that who parents come from an environment like that and her family was raised in an environment like that kind of connect to a black manosphere, even though that we have black people was raised into the suburbs similar to this. But in Levittown, when the black family tried to move in, they was told that they couldn't have a house after coming back from the war, like most veterans, white veterans, Hispanic and Native American veterans. They couldn't have their own house. Do I want to do the people over in England understand this? Well, we coming from a black American standpoint of view. This is part of history, and even though everything was elegantly cheap back then and come of age, and the prices and the monetary value back then, but it is a totally different separate system when it came down to the skin of color. Now, but until value later, it's as Simon says. Simon says that okay, we can allow black people to come into environments like this. This is what the people like Pearl don't understand. That's why, even though we can connect as far as family in similar situation, but not saying that there's dysfunction, because and in the human race, everybody have dysfunction. However, when it comes to certain issues that have a generational devastation, is black people, between black men and black women, that need to solve their problems, instead of bringing someone that come from an environment like this. Not saying that the environment like this, there's no dysfunction out there, but at the other hand, you can't, because they haven't lived the experience of a black American person. This is why it was offensive to some black men and black women, because she was so out of touch, because the environment she come from an environment like this, and her parents probably come from an environment, and her parents' come from an environment like this. This the reason why. So the reason why, because I had to show the video, because we was colonial spiritually, and I don't know what, but King Richie and his Auntie Jane is, but maybe they was probably to see they were colonial minded too, whether they believe it or not. This the reason why I made this video. Because, and brothers, you gotta understand, there's some people that were raised out in them suburbs, black people, 3 or 4 generations in the suburbs. So they're gonna look at a Eurocentric point of view from white people and have some gonna slide over with the conservatism. And even though you're like, I don't understand, but they black like us. Yeah, they may be black, but some of them, once they hit that suburb, you come into a colonial thinking. You come into a suburban thinking. You come into a mindset of thinking. Even though that we wanted everybody should have peace and joy and everything, and prosperity, and every person have the rights to live, their children, and have that. And we work hard and you go to school. And we all want that. However, when you go to the suburb, some of the people, all races come to this conclusion. That the environment that you are, you become the majority of the environment. What is the majority of that environment? The people like you see it in that video. The descendants of the people you see in the video. So you come into a thinking like that. That's the reason why you come into a thinking like this. You come into a thinking. This why, and some black people think that way because maybe they were brought up in the suburbs the same way, even though they had to get opposition because they really didn't want black people in the suburbs. That was designed for them. That was designed for them to go. And then until they had to let 1 or 2 through. But then you had to adopt to the colonial mindset on your own, with some of your own. And that's the reason why. So black people, stop fighting among each other. And I think you need to develop a code. And hopefully someone would go between black folks raised in the city, black folks raised in the country, in the suburbs, and say, hey, we need to work out our own differences and stay on code, like Neely Fuller said. But when you bring in outsiders into your conflict, this is what happened. So this can't be resolved with the manosphere, the black manosphere, robot. But let this be a lesson. You can't, you have to be on code, even when you're on camera. Y'all can't just be ratchet, man. Y'all can't be ratchet. I'm just giving you, but this is where I had to lay the foundation on where this come from. Because when you come from people that come from an environment like this, that looks like this,
you could go to Grainger.com
and you was raised in the hood.
Grainger,
and that's no this against anybody that's from out there, but they can't connect to you in other ways. That the real struggle.
Digital controls for your spending and saving.
They can't connect to you.
Every account. True story.
This is what it should be trying to say. When they come from an environment like, they were born into an environment like this. They were born into this. The Pearls, they were born in an environment like this.
In the first year of peace, more than 2 million couples were married. By 1950, 21 million babies had been born in a seemingly endless baby boom. 5 million new low-cost homes, and they needed them right away.
Now there are building
The elusive dream of home ownership would soon be realized by a man about to fulfill a dream of his own and invent a new phenomenon, suburbia.
This is suburbia is for them.
Bill Levitt as a young man working with the
So let me tell you.
Small bedrooms and a bathroom, and it had doors that I could close and open. Which we had always lived in furnished rooms. We had no privacy whatsoever. No, nothing. It was
was perfect for a young couple.
And we had a Bendix in the kitchen.
That's right, Bendix washing machine in the
You
kitchen.
probably
First
saw
time I
this
ever saw
on earlier video.
a washing machine, I think. And we fell in love because that washing machine was underneath the
That was
stairs.
their version.
Up to the salesperson, and I said to him, "We're very interested in your house, and we'd like an application." And I remember what he said to me. He looked at me, said, "It's not me, but the management has not as yet decided whether he's going to sell these houses to Negroes or not." And
Can't believe it. You really thought you had it made. Everything is falling into place.
well, I'd like you to conceive that somebody telling you that, and there's no recourse, telling you that openly and outright like that.
Bill Levitt saw himself as a home builder, not as a social engineer, and he refused to sell the blacks. There were court cases against him, and the fact is he was all too typical of what existed in real estate in America in those days, in believing that you did not have to and should not have to sell to people who were not white.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is William Levitt, who heads the largest home building firm in the world.
Bill Levitt would become one of the richest men in America by providing architectural, not racial, equality.
Unlike anything we ever encountered before. This is one of 4 models which are now being built throughout Levittown. The 4 models vary slightly in overall design, but each has the same number of rooms. 2 bedrooms.
I think it was that sense that Americans really did like the comfort of having what the other guy had, but yet they could put a little fence around it and say, "This is mine." And that's really a particular American genius, is to say, "This is yours, this is mine, but we're still all the same."
Did you get all your dreams yet? Or is this the first one?
An army of Levitt imitators carried the housing revolution across the country. By 1955, 3 out of every 4 houses built were built in Levitt-style subdivisions.
I think Levittown represented to a lot of city dwellers a dream that had eluded them all through the Depression and the war, which was to have a place somewhere with a patch of green in the back where their kids were going to be able to live better than they did. And to that extent, it fulfilled that particular vision. To another whole group of us growing up in cities, Levittown was a surrender. You know, that was exactly what we didn't want to be. To us, going to Levittown would be like going to Attica.
Its critics said that Levittown was little more than a voluntary prison, a multitude of uniform houses lined up at uniform distances on uniform roads in a treeless waste. What the critics said did not matter to the homeowners of Levittown. They had built sturdy new lives in sturdy new houses and wrapped their newborn into the nest. What worried many Americans was not the conformity of their own lives, but communist Russia.
We've done a list of the worst cities for blacks and the best cities for blacks. Today,
now, you see it from their point of view. So when you come to America, even to this day, generations of Americans, from the majority American, they see that type of America. And we are, people that look like us are the backdrop. And I use this slogan before I'm about to end this video. When it comes to folks that look like us, we visible to be invisible. But they feel like they have to validate you in order to bring you visible before they get to their mind, before they see it in their eyes. This is the reason for this video. And I hope that this video will bring the understanding to our people, or where it come from. Spiritual, geographical, and then that's why we've said it was nothing. And Pearl probably don't even really think about this herself. Just Lee Pearl don't even think about this. But That's why she can't connect, because she come from towards the end, because the background she come from, her parents come from, her grandparents come from. Not saying that they didn't have no struggles, but their struggles was quite different than the trauma and struggles of black people. And we have to learn sometimes to stay on code with one another. That's what it's not to criticize, but to open people's mind why this happened. That's why, and the people who are non-black, this is the reason why you're watching this video. Because you heard the video. It's because spiritually we're aligning ourselves up, and it doesn't fit the narrative, because that's why they made the game Simon Says. Simon Says, I gotta validate you from the colonial times in England to the colonial times in America when it comes to people of, and that's why they feel like we are relevant, because if we become relevant, we rise. And the only one's gonna bring us rise of our development is the Most High. In the meantime, get the groundwork done. And I can tell the brothers, stop, and black women, black men, stop dividing yourself over it. Because in the eyes, we are people among people. We're human among human, not objects and things of pleasure among others. We are the first beings on this planet. Spiritually, as she shows you. This is the reason why, but some of them won't see it. Because in their eyes, they're trained to see Negroes. That's what they call us, as objects. Somewhere. So please share like this video. This is the solution. This is the problem. This is where the problem began. That's why. Sorry for the video being very long, but I had to lay out the story, to lay it out and give from different perspective. And hey, those people's opinion, a lot of things, that's their opinion. But I took some talking points, but I didn't agree with certain talking points, individuals. But I had to show you what the mindset to take you to the last video over people like Pearl come from, the suburbs. And not saying that the people got it easy, but when you hear some of my videos on urban people, suburban people, they're completely different from us. And even black people who are raised out there become Negro European. Black on skin, white in mind. And I can tell you from personal experience, because I started out in the city, went to the suburbs, and you see a whole different spiritual system. And you want to be around. I still got relatives that want to be around them. Don't want to be too much around us, but want to be around them. It's a spiritual thing. It's hard to have people in different friendly situations. But spiritually, people hopefully we can come together and come into agreement. It's good to love other people, but first you gotta learn to love yourself. And that's what black people, most of us, the rest of us needed to do. Some of us got it, and the rest of us need to catch up. Alright then guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, take care.